Who are you?
My name is Germán Freiwald, and I'm a Senior Director of Industry Solutions for Education at Salesforce.
What do you like about your role working with higher ed institutions?
In my role, I get to talk to education leaders a lot, education leaders, people in the front lines, et cetera, and I get to ask them questions, all kind of aimed at trying to understand the obstacles that they're facing. And then we take that and, basically what I learn from them to inform our product strategy and our storytelling at Salesforce. So I think that's all the kind of stuff that I love. I think if I'm doing that right, then it is, curiosity, it's empathy, it's creativity, and coming up with, solutions that work for folks. And so, that's what I love.
What are a few key considerations for higher ed technology leaders planning for 2026 and beyond?
I think really one of the key considerations is costs. So costs have been dramatically outpacing inflation for a long time at this point. I think we're seeing that in a way that's ultimately unsustainable. And then you add to that, we have the shifting kind of regulatory and policy landscape. I think that potentially complicates the balance sheet even further. And then, potential challenges in terms of enrollment, that's been well documented as well, hitting some segments more than others, right? But I think all of those things kind of get at balance sheet challenges. And then you have the role and the impact of AI that is coming along, right? And so I think that adds another layer and element to it. And so I think all of these things kind of come together and kind of get at the core value prop of higher education. And so I think those are some of the kind of key considerations that I would have in mind going into 2026 and beyond.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
Right now, I recently started watching Pluribus. It's from the creators of Breaking Bad, and it is so good. I don't even know that I could tell you what it's really about. I think there are kind of questions like, is this a metaphor for AI, or is this about a sort of commentary on individualism versus collectivism? I don't really know. I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I think I'm compelled to figure it out. So yeah, that's kind of the show that I'm obsessed with right now.
How do you think AI is affecting higher ed strategic planning?
Hopefully in so many ways. So I think higher education strategic planning should be considering AI kind of at all levels. I spoke to a CIO recently who said something that really stuck with me. She said, I used to be focused on finding technology that was built to last, and now I'm focused on finding technology that's built for change. And I think that is dead on for the moment that we're in. I think we're kind of in an AI revolution that is unfolding. In the past few years, we saw that impact the pedagogical side of the house, right? And so there was kind of generative AI came out, and there was concerns around how are students using this, and we need to rearrange the way that we're evaluating students, right? To kind of to make up for that or to react to that. I think going forward, the next few years, there's going to be questions about how AI is impacting the business side of the house. And I think that presents a more proactive opportunity. So, I think if I were doing strategic planning for the next few years, I would be thinking about how can I use AI to potentially right-size our costs? How can I use AI to, at the same time, provide better service to students? And I think as soon as you start trying to develop a cohesive strategy for that, you get a layer deeper and you start looking at your data strategy. How do we unify and harmonize data to support AI? I think that is going to be critical as well. So I think as I look to strategic planning, I think those are kind of some of the key elements that I'm going to want to have interwoven and developing a really solid kind of business case around how we're using AI to do those things, to bring down costs while improving service.
What do you like to do outside of work?
So my wife and I live in San Francisco, so I think we like to do all the kind of typical city stuff. We go to a lot of theater, movies, concerts, all that kind of stuff, try to take advantage of living in the city. I also try to stay active. So for me, that looks like yoga, hiking, surfing, that kind of stuff. And then every night I read before I go to sleep to kind of help decompress. So those are probably the things I'm doing most often.
What's something that inspires you about your work?
When I'm working with higher education institutions, anytime I meet someone, which is often, that is like truly focused on using education to enable upward mobility, I find that inspiring. And so I think that's why I got into education technology, was with the hope of wanting to help scale that impact. And so any moment that I find where my technology that I'm working on, if it's helping in any way, big or small, that's really my why. And that's what I find inspiring.